and development in Nigeria and around the world. You may have heard that the son of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has thrown his father under the bus by endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and collapsing his structure for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election. That, my friend, is a big political quake. Now, before we go further, we need to look at read the story, and see how this is very good news for Peter Obi, unless the people in the ADC don't know what they are doing, because the rejection of Atiku Abubakar by his first son, Abba, says it all. How do you go there and campaign against Tinubu with Atiku as your candidate? How do you do that? How is your campaign strategy going to be like in ADC if you make Atiku Abubakar your presidential candidate? That is why it's obvious that this is a good development. It has brightened the chance of Peter Obi, because the ADC will be foolhardy to entrust their tickets to Atiku Abubakar, who was rejected by his own son, biological son. But before we go deep into that, let us look at the story, so that in case some people who are not aware of what is going on will be able to appreciate the significance of Atiku Abubakar's son believing that his father is not good enough to be the president in 2027, and is endorsing the same person that his father considered incompetent, incapable of solving the problems of Nigeria. So what we're going to do first, let us look at the story. Now, the story is this. Abubakar, son of former vice president and 2023 People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressive Congress, pledging to work for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. The defection, announced on Thursday at the National Assembly, Abuja, is being viewed within political circles as a symbolic and strategic blow to Atiku Abubakar's presidential ambition, and a major boost to the APC's consolidation efforts, particularly in the Northeast. Popularly known as Abba, the younger Atiku was formally received by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Ibrahim, alongside key APC leaders from the Northeast geopolitical zone, in what party leaders describe as a significant political realignment. Addressing party leaders and supporters at the event, Abubakar announced his resignation from the PDP and declared his full alignment with the APC, describing the move as historic and deeply personal. He also directed all coordinators and members of his political structure, formerly known as the Haske Atiku Organisation, which he founded in 2022 to run his father's campaign, to immediately join the APC and mobilise support for President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. He said, "My name is Abubakar Atiku Abubakar, but everyone calls me Abba. I'm here today to formally announce my exit from my former party, where we worked in 2023, and my decision to join the APC. Today, I am here to formally announce my exit from my former party to the APC, following the outstanding leadership style and quality of His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrow Ibrahim. With this development, I will work with Senator Barrow to actualize the second-term bid of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. To this effect, I am directing all coordinators of my association to join APC and work for President Tinubu." Welcoming him into the party, the APC National Vice Chairman, Northeast, Mustafa Salihu, described the defection as both symbolic and far-reaching, saying it reflected a new phase of politics without borders. Shehu said, "Today is one of my happiest days. We are looking beyond old social and political cleavages. This young man has seen the policies and programs of Tinubu administration and decided to align with them. He stressed that the APC was driven by ideology and policy direction rather than personal ambition, assuring Abba of full rights and equal opportunities within the party." In his remarks, Senator Barrow congratulated the new APC entrant for what he described as a bold, wise, and principled decision, assuring him and his supporters of maximum support from the party leadership. Barrow said, "You have made a decision based on ideology. You didn't come here because of your father. You came because you believe in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his ideology, and the renewed hope agenda." The Deputy Senate President disclosed that Abba, who had been closely following political developments from the United States, was impressed by the Tinubu administration's reforms and outreach efforts, prompting his return to Nigeria and decision to join the ruling party. He is young, focused, and determined to contribute to shaping the future of our country. This is the kind of youth Nigeria needs, Barrow added. Now, after speaking at the event, a presidential aide, Alhaji Abdullahi, assured Abubakar of President Tinubu's acceptance and backing within the party. "Just like Atiku, Tinubu is also your father. Your decision is like returning home. You and your coordinators have a future in this party." On behalf of the defecting group, the Kano State Coordinator, Mubarak Musa, described the move as strategic, noting that all political activities of the group will now be coordinated through Senator Barrow. "We have worked around the clock for our former platform. We will double our efforts and deliver for the APC in 2027, Musa said. He described Senator Barrow as their political father and a key figure of the APC in the North. The high point of the event was the former renaming of Abba's political structure from Haske Atiku Organisation to Haske Bola Tinubu Organization, signaling a complete political realignment and a clear declaration of support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term bid ahead of 2027. Now, this is a political earthquake, but the truth of the matter is that this thing was like pulling the wool, or pulling the rug under the feet of Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president. Okay. It is now, let us look at the reaction of Atiku Abubakar himself, because Atiku has reacted. We need to look at what Atiku said, okay, so that we'll be able to understand. Now, Atiku's reaction was to downplay it, was to downplay the situation. Now, this is what Atiku Abubakar said about the defection of his son. But that, my friend, is damage control he was trying to do. Atiku breaks silence on son's defection to APC. Former vice president and 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has broken silence on the defection of his son, Abba Abubakar, from PDP to the ruling All Progressive Congress. Atiku described the decision of his son to join the ruling APC as entirely personal. Okay. The Nation reports Abba pledged to work for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, of course. Popularly known as Abba, the younger Atiku was formally received by the Deputy Senate President. Okay. 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 Now, Atiku, in his reaction, this is what Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, on his verified X handle, said the decision of my son, Abba Abubakar, to join APC is entirely personal. In a democracy, such choices are neither unusual nor alarming, even when family and politics intersect. As a Democrat, I do not coerce my own children in matters of conscience, and I certainly will not coerce Nigerians. What truly concerns me is the poor governance of the APC and the severe economic and social hardship it has imposed on our people. I remain resolute in working with like-minded patriots to restore good governance and offer Nigerians a credible alternative that brings relief, hope, and progress. Atiku says he's ready to work with like-minded patriots. Is he also telling us that his son is not patriotic because his son is supporting Tinubu? Now, when Atiku said that it is not unusual for family members to dish their family relation, he's being clever by half. He's being clever by, even in Nigeria, you have to go back to the time of Abba Atiku for you to get somebody who disagreed with his parents and contested, you know, or you, okay, and it doesn't end well. You look at the Sarakis and all that, but it is an indictment on the leadership of Atiku Abubakar that his son, his first son, I believe, this didn't find him suitable to be president in 2027. And that is what that is a message to the ADC as they keep on prevaricating on what to do about their presidential ticket. How can you have Atiku Abubakar as your presidential ticket? How do you even go? How do you, who will handle the campaign? Where your principal, your candidate, is saying that Tinubu is not, doesn't have leadership quality, and you say Atiku has leadership quality, but the son of Atiku comes the son of Atiku, lives with Atiku, has slept in the same house with Atiku, has gone to the mosque with his father, lived in the same house, brought up by the same man, is telling you that his father is not up to the job. How do you convince other Nigerians? All that Tinubu need to do is just to give the microphone to Abba Atiku Abubakar. And that will be the end of the campaign. Because what you're going to see is like what Yamo and Shomole, the things they were saying in the past. When Yamo returned in Edo State, the thing he was saying, they were what they used before against him was what was used in the campaign. You know, there was during the Edo election one time, the things that Oshomole said about Isaiah was eventually used against them in the campaign for governorship election in Edo State. Okay, so what this means is that while you are saying that Tinubu is not doing well, Atiku, you are campaigning for Atiku. That Atiku this, Atiku will do that. But his son is in the other side, telling you that this man is better than my father. I have lived with my father. I understand my father. He cannot do this job the way that Tinubu is doing it. So the onus is now on the ADC to know that the only person they have, the only person they should be working for is for Peter Obi to emerge as their presidential candidate. Because right now, that is what it means. The ADC cannot afford to have Atiku Abubakar as the face of the party while his son is endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Just look at it. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't show seriousness for any party to do that. Just imagine. Look at America, where we borrowed this presidential system of government. Imagine that look at how the sons of Donald Trump own the campaign of their father. How they own it, and was the best campaign managers of their father from their individual basis, and what they brought to bear in the campaign. Imagine that one or two, even one single son of Donald Trump endorsed Kamala Harris. Do you know what that means? What that would have meant for Donald Trump's campaign? Just imagine if one of Donald Trump's sons was to dish his father and then say that Kamala Harris was good, better than his father. It doesn't add up. Just imagine Hunter Biden saying that Trump is better than his father. It doesn't add up. Now, a lot of reactions have continued to throw this, but I think that the most important reaction is this one we are doing here. This is because with what has happened in the Atiku family, there is no basis there is nothing to convince any Nigerian that Tinubu or Atiku is better than Tinubu. If Atiku's son could look at his father, look at his father's track record, look at what his father wants to bring on the table, and say no. I say, hell no. I'd rather go with Tinubu. He's doing a great job. I've watched him in the last 2.5 years. Nigeria is on a good trajectory. That's what Atiku's son is saying. Nigeria on a good trajectory. How do you expect ADC to campaign under this kind of situation? Okay. Now, there was an interesting dimension to it. There is a headline in the Punch newspaper: ex-APC presidential aspirant once again celebrating defection of Atiku's son. Once again, the defection. Okay, I see you. Ex-APC presidential aspirant once again celebrating defection of Atiku's son. Now, who is this ex-presidential candidate of the presidential aspirant? That's Adamu Garba. I see you, Obiora John. I see you. I see you. So this former presidential aspirant, Adamu Garba, he has cautioned party members against celebrating the defection of Abba, son of former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling party. Garba issued the warning in a statement shared via his official X handle on Thursday, describing the development as troubling rather than commendable. He said, "I am a member of APC, but I don't think joining our party by Abba, the son of former Vice President, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, is a good deal, especially for APC members who are parents." I see you, Obiora John. Okay, I see you. I see Innocent, I see you. So the former aspirant expressed concern over what he described as the moral implication of celebrating such a move, particularly within the context of family loyalty. I pray for those celebrating to never see a day that their children jettison them at the time when they are needed most. Now, this guy is moralizing about it, but that is the problem. He further warned that personal ambition should not override fundamental values, stressing that loyalty within families reflects broader character traits. Any child who dumps his father when his father is needed the most will not hesitate to dump you, no matter who else you are, he said. Well, that is his own business. That is Adamu Garba's business. He said those who are celebrating it in the APC should not, because their own family members can, if their family members do something like that to them, that they will not like it. Well, that's what we are saying. For your family members to do that to you, or any of your family member, including your biological son, to do that to you, it means that your leadership capacity, your leadership capability is questionable. If your son can look at you and say that you are not good enough, and that you are not good enough is a different thing if the person that they say you are, that is better than you, is. I see you, so no, we say, if ADC give Atiku that ticket, I will congratulate Tinubu before the election. I hear you. So, somebody from your own family rejecting you like that, it says a lot. It says a lot. Even the fact that your son, the son you brought into this world, look at you and choose another person for a position you are seeking for. That's an indictment on your capacity to carry everybody along in your family. So if you cannot carry everyone along in your biological family to support your candidacy, how then do we market you to the rest of Nigeria? And it's not that this Abba Abubakar is ditching his father for somebody that Nigerians has a lot of respect for in terms of his performance. You are talking about a son ditching his father for Tinubu. Now, if you look at the report sheet of the APC since Tinubu became president, there is nothing that Tinubu has done that he has done better than even a Buhari administration. Buhari administration was bad. Buhari administration had been ranked as the worst until Tinubu came in. That was why Obasanjo was saying in one of his recent books, yes, I saw you, he said, what is the purpose of removing Tinubu? Is it to replace him with another Tinubu? Okay, that's a question somebody's asking. So you look at it, how do you have a situation where Tinubu has failed in the area of securing the country to the level that Americans have to intervene? He has failed in uniting the country. The country is more divided today than ever before. He has failed in managing the economy. Nigerians are poorer today than they were before Tinubu came to office. Nigerians are facing the worst socioeconomic crisis in their history. Tinubu is running the most non-transparent presidency in our history. He has imposed tax on Nigerians despite the alleged alteration in the tax law. He didn't care. He said he must go ahead. Not even Sani Abacha would have done what he has done. Not even Sani Abacha, a military leader, would have done what Tinubu has done by going ahead, despite the alleged alterations in the tax law. That is, I saw you one. Okay, you say keep lamenting to 2031. Well, it's not a question of love. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about leadership. Okay, has Tinubu provided the leadership? He has not. People are suffering today more than ever before. People are killed today more than ever before. So on what basis are you supporting Tinubu? And then the son of one of the faces of ADC say, despite all this baggage that Tinubu is carrying, despite all this baggage, that Tinubu is still better than his father, and the ADC will carry their ticket and give to him. I think they'll be jokers. That's what they will be. The ADC leadership, they will be jokers if they carry their ticket and give to Atiku Abubakar. I see you, Charles Duru, I see you. For you to carry your ticket and give somebody that was rejected by his son, and the son is with the man you want to remove. it doesn't show that you know what you are doing. It's good enough that this defection happened now. If it had happened after the primaries and ADC had the common sense of giving their presidential ticket to Peter Obi and Abba defect to APC, people will say it is because his father lost the primaries. Now he has cast the ballot on the fate of his father. That his father is no match for Tinubu. So if you are a campaign strategist, what you come and tell us is that, I know what they will say, I see you, Tony Brown, I see you. So when you are campaigning in 2027 and you have somebody like Atiku, how do you market him? How do you sell him to Nigerians when his own son doesn't believe in him? And that's his son may not be the only one. This one is the one that, because I think he's the first son. So he's the one that has been he has been involved in the political terrain. Okay, he has been involved in the political terrain. He has his own group, the Haske group that he used to. He has now turned it to Haske Atiku Abubakar is what he used to be. Now it is Haske Bola Tinubu or something like that, under the Renewed Hope platform. So when you face that kind of situation, you know that you cannot have such a person as your presidential candidate. Now, you are going to see that in the next few days, people like Dele Momodu and others who are campaigning for Atiku Abubakar, they will spin it. They will try to turn it as a kind of positive. Okay. I see you, Tony Brown, I see you. So they will turn it. They will say, oh, it shows that Atiku is a Democrat. It shows that, and as Atiku said in his statement, reacting to his son, he says an indication that he cannot coerce anybody, that it is personal to his son. Really? Really? But many of them, there are many of Atiku Abubakar's people who are still not happy with Peter Obi today. Their anger is that if Peter Obi had not entered the race, they believe that they would have been the one that they would have won the election. Okay? They are still angry, even though they are hiding it. But it was their action, their failure to recognize the importance of zoning, that 2027 belongs to Southern Nigeria, just like 2023 belongs to Southern Nigeria to produce the president. Whether you like it or not, I see you, Chido Zemo, so I see you. You say Atiku will be relevant as a state, okay. You say Atiku is working for Tinubu, okay. Okay, I see you, Abraham Peace. So, why this is, okay, Tony Brown said they are trying to make the worst case scenario to allow Tinubu to have one more time. Okay, okay, I see you. Now, the issue is this. You are talking about APC administration that Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, have described as the worst in living memory. Educated Nigerians, enlightened Nigerians like Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who has seen it all. Obasanjo has seen military administration. He has seen civilian administration. He has been part of a military administration, has been a military head of state, a civilian president. In his book, he said that Tinubu is competing with Buhari. There's a book by Obasanjo where he assessed all leaders of Nigeria since independence to date. Do you know what he wrote? Obasanjo wrote, he said, the worst. He said Tinubu and Buhari, they are competing for the worst administration in Nigeria's history. And that is administration that the son of a potential presidential hopeful in the ADC is backing, that he has the solution to the problem. And you want people to believe that it doesn't matter. No, it matters. It should matter. Okay, somebody say Atiku's agenda of becoming president at 81. I see you. This guy is bringing in the issue of the age of Atiku, which is also an issue being looked at by a lot of Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are looking at the age of Atiku Abubakar, whether that is an issue. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see the comments there. So the fact of the matter is that whether we like it or not, Atiku's son has passed the verdict on him. And that verdict is with a lot of meaning. Atiku's son is also showing, approving that South should produce the next president. That is what Atiku's son has done. Atiku's own son has zoned it to the South, the presidency. That is one of the things you can read from what happened, from his endorsing Tinubu. He also, it's also an endorsement of the fact that the next president of Nigeria should come from the South. It means that Abba Atiku Abubakar believe that the power should not return to the North, contrary to the permutation and the plans of his father and his supporters. That is what it means. So for those, Tony Brown said, but I don't support any of them, including PDP. Nigeria should be a worst case scenario. Okay, that was too fast for me too. But whatever may be the case, the truth of the matter remains that if ADC want to reach power from APC, they cannot afford to give it to Atiku Abubakar, who was rejected by his own son. It makes campaign difficult. It makes convincing other Nigerians that Tinubu is bad, that his government is bad, that his government has not delivered. Even when it is their living reality, it doesn't augur well. Even those who are going to spin it that it shows that Atiku is a Democrat, nobody's going to buy that. Nobody is going to buy that. I'm sure that the supporters of Atiku Abubakar, they are in their situation room now, planning how to manage this disastrous political development concerning Atiku Abubakar. They would like to show that, it shows that Atiku is a Democrat. Well, what can he do? If he's not a Democrat, what will he do? The son is a matured man, has his own family, is a grown man, doing his own business, running his own life. So what will Atiku do? Can Atiku force him not to? No, Atiku had no choice. He only have to live with the embarrassment of what his son has done. There is nothing he could do about it. This is beyond him. Don't forget that this Haske Atiku Abubakar, their political group, they campaigned for Atiku Abubakar himself. His son has a political structure that he used to work for his father in the 2023 election. It was that structure that he collapsed under Tinubu's presidential re-election. So he's not a small person. He's not just a child out of school who is perhaps carried away by whatever. He must have thought about it deeply and believe strongly that that is what is best for Nigeria, Tinubu. But of course, most Nigerians will disagree with him that Tinubu is the best for Nigeria. Most Nigerians will disagree, but that is him. But by what he has done, he has passed a verdict on his own father. He has passed a verdict on his own father that his father is not good enough. So it's a big blow to him. And it's a win for those who have been saying it, that the next president of Nigeria should come from the south. It doesn't have to be Tinubu. It doesn't have to be Tinubu. Tinubu has failed. Tinubu has failed to deliver. Nigeria today is worse off than it was under Buhari. And it is painful that we look at Buhari years with nostalgia. It is very painful that we look at, okay, you say Abba is not, okay, who is the first son? Somebody is telling me that Abba is not the first son. Atiku Abubakar, Abba is part of a twins. He was born a twin by his first wife. So what are you telling me? I want you to, who is the first? Who came out first? If Abba is not the first son, who was the first son? Who is the first son? Somebody saying that Abba is not the first son. Who is the first son? Because I know that Abba is, they are twin. But it doesn't really matter whether he's the first son or not. But he is the son that is politically conscious. His political group, he used it to campaign for his father in 2023. So that is how important he is. That is how important he is. He has the Haske Atiku Organization that he used to campaign for his father. Okay. He has the Haske Atiku Abubakar, Haske Atiku Organization. So he is somebody who is into politics. So it means that he has seen no hope for his father in 2027. Apparently because, one, it is supposed to be the South that will produce the president. And second, also because his father doesn't have the leadership better than Tinubu. Because this guy is saying that Tinubu is better than my father. That's why he's backing Tinubu. That is it. So what the ADC should do now is to ensure that their primaries, presidential primaries, is transparent, very, very transparent, and let their presidential candidate emerge from southern Nigeria. All this prevarication about where the presidential ticket should come from, to the level that some people are saying, like Dele Momodu, that they should throw it open, believing that the North has more delegates, so they are likely to produce a northern presidential candidate. But that would be the greatest undoing of the ADC. That was what destroyed the PDP, and it may destroy the ADC. Now, with what the son of Atiku has done, let it guide the APC, the ADC, to know that the future of the party, the future of Nigeria, lies in having a candidate that is different from Tinubu. A candidate that is different in all ramifications from Tinubu. What you have seen that Abba Atiku Abubakar did to his father is also sending a message that there is no difference between his father and Tinubu. And since Tinubu is already there, why don't he continue? It was an indication that his father has not brought, and is not going to bring anything new to the table. It's an indication that his father cannot be able to change Nigeria if the ticket is given to his father. Because if not, what else can we say? Okay, Clifford, we need a president who can freely travel to US without fear of something. Both Atiku and Tinubu, okay, are not good enough, okay, I see you. So this is ADC. God has given them opportunity. Those who are still prevaricating on what to do about the ADC ticket, God is showing you people sign. Don't follow Atiku. Don't follow Atiku. Follow a candidate that should be able to tackle Tinubu very well. Follow a candidate that will be able to address the APC frontally. Not a candidate whose son has already demarketed, thrown under the bus, that is not equal in terms of leadership to Tinubu. That is the fact. God has given you opportunity to go with the people's candidate, somebody that the people can look at and die to defend their votes. It's an opportunity. Thank God for the timing of Abba's defection. It has created a window for the ADC, if they are serious, of wresting power from the APC. Unless they are doing, or they are all these things they are doing is just political jamboree. But if they are serious about changing the status quo, then this is a big boost for Peter Obi. I see you, Tony Brown. Yes, I see you. I see you, Clifford. I see you. So basically, the ADC's work has been made easier for them. The other day, I've done a video on it. Dele Momodu was advising ADC to throw their ticket open and said that there are only 3 candidates, 3 aspirants, that if they are on the ticket, Tinubu is a gunner. He said Atiku Abubakar, Erufai, and Tambawa. I showed proof that those 3 people you are mentioning, because when he put them out there, he said they have been tried and tested. But the fact of the matter remains, they have been tried and tested, but none of them had been tried and tested like Peter Obi. Peter Obi, who, without structure, without anything but the will of the Nigerian people, he was able to garner 10 million votes that was allegedly slashed to 6.1 million votes. And many believe that it was because of him that there was glitches in the transmission of the presidential election result. So you have somebody like that you are still debating that Atiku is tried and tested. Tried and tested. Atiku tried and tested. Atiku that had over 12 governors in ahead of 2023 election. He had over 12 PDP governors. He had over 100 National Assembly members. He had State House of Assembly members in their hundreds. And P2B got 10 million votes, and he was not able to reach that figure. And you say he's tried and tested. And then you talk about Tamboa, talk about this. No. Peter Obi is the person that they should go give the ticket and then leave the rest for Nigerians. They had been prevaricating, put it open, throw it open, don't zone it, this and that. Now the person that those who are saying they should throw it open are banking on, his own son has thrown him under the bus. So how are they going to campaign? What are they going to tell Nigerians? What are they going to spin? The only spin they will do is that Atiku is a Democrat. And he allowed his son. He didn't allow his son. That son is old enough. He's a matured man. He's a matured man, has his own family. So Atiku could not, the guy looked at his father's chances. The guy looked at his father's chances against Tinubu in 2027 and did what people do. I say, look, I better join these people. Join them. And that is what he did. He has joined Tinubu. So that is a summary. It's a disqualification of Atiku Abubakar, whether we like it or not. ADC, they can still deceive themselves and try to spin it because Atiku has a lot of people in the media. He has a lot of people who are speaking on his behalf, who are writing on his behalf. They can easily spin it. But what they are spinning won't change anything. The fact is that a family member of Atiku Abubakar, his biological son, not just a family member. When you say family member, you think it's an extended family member. His biological son, say, as far as 2027 is concerned, it is not for his father. So he has written his father off. And his father is going to be 81. He's going to be 81. He's going to be 81 by 2027. So he's 80 this year. Age is not on his side. This is his last chance. And his son has already ruled him out as having the capacity to provide leadership. And still some people would like to claim that he can save Nigeria. He can salvage Nigeria. And when you ask them, what are they going to do different? What is Atiku going to do different from what Tinubu is doing? The only person that can bring a new vigor to the presidency is Peter Obi. He is the first person that is going to be a new rigor in interrogating activities of government, a new vigor in the capacity to fold his sleeves and be where it is happening. That is what you need. You need a handsome president, not a president that is always delegating. Like Tinubu, right now he's out of the country or running the country by phone. Which serious country does that? Any serious country, which serious country does that? Peter Obi is the person that if he becomes president tomorrow, May 29, 2027, before P2B will step out of this country, before P2B will step out of this country, it must be for a genuine reason. If P2B want to holiday, he will go to Budukato Ranch. P2B will go to Kainji Dam resorts. He will go to Yankari Games Reserve. I'm telling you, you need a president who will bring something new. You need a presidential candidate that will bring something new, something that is not common. But you can't do that with Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar becomes president, what you are going to see is the same thing you are seeing right now, which started with Buhari outsourcing the presidency, always abroad, running the country from abroad. It's only in Nigeria that you have presidents running their office from abroad on the guise of looking for so-called investors, foreign investors. But they forgot that investment is not a question of you looking for it. If you provide an enabling environment, the investors will come. When you put a sugar on the table, you don't need to tell the ants to come, they will come. Because money follows the route where there is enabling environment. That's how money moves. You don't have to be traveling all over the place and be running the country from outside and then be going to hospital abroad all the time. All the time the president is sick. All the time the president is abroad. Now they are ashamed to say that the president is sick. They say he's on working vacation. Who does that? How many times have you heard that Trump is on a working vacation? How many times? Or you heard that any climes, in any climb, reasonable climb, where their president is always traveling? No. So you need someone like Peter Obi who will bring a new dimension so that when Nigerians see Peter Obi, see Tinubu, they will know, yes, there's a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. That is the truth. There is a difference. Just two of them, when you watch their two campaigns, just Tinubu come out and Peter Obi come out, you will know the difference. But now you want to put Atiku and Tinubu together to contest. It means you guys are not serious. So this is a good development for the obedient movement, for the P2B supporters, and those who have been shouting, crying out that ADC should not misuse this opportunity, that ADC should look for a Southern presidential candidate. And when you are talking about a Southern presidential candidate, the only Southern presidential candidate that could give Tinubu a run for his money is Peter Obi. And that is because Peter Obi, there is nothing you can use against him. Peter Obi is squeaky clean. He has not been found wanting. He has done business in UK for several years. He lived there. They didn't find anything on him. And look at Nigeria is where it is today because of corruption. And one of the things that can convince Nigerians that you are serious is when you have a candidate that can fight corruption and live a life that is not influenced by corruption. You cannot, that P2B is the only candidate. He's the only candidate who has not made his money in government. P2B has not made his money in government compared to all the rest. What if you look at Amechi now? Okay, so Atiku is Judith, I see you. Now, if you look at somebody like Rotimi Chibuike Amechi has been in government all his life, literally. From being the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly for 8 years, and being the chairman of Association of Nigerian Speakers. He was that for 8 years. He became governor for 8 years. He became minister for 8 years. He has not done any business. Even if he's rich, you can understand that he's rich, his wealth comes from government. That is the fact. If he's rich, his wealth comes from government. That's what people will call wealth without enterprise. Because that's what it means. If he's rich, because you are not supposed to be rich in government. Nobody that works all his life in government is rich in any decent society. None, not even one. It's only in Nigeria that things happen like that happen. It's only in Nigeria that people get rich in government. But in other climes, you don't get rich in government. You don't. In other climes, like in the West, you can get rich after you have been in government. Charles Uche, you say if APC fail to give PO their ticket, it will be easy run for Tinubu's back to Aso Rock. You heard that? That's his view, that if you give it to Atiku, that is what you're going to get. So why take all the troubles, upon all the troubles, and you go and hand the ticket over to Atiku, who has been rejected by his own son? To me, it doesn't make sense. So I don't know what you think. We have, because we are coming to the end of this live discourse. What is your position? How do you see the dumping of Atiku Abubakar by his own son? How do you think it can affect the chances of Peter Obi being, imagine, the candidate of the ADC? And look at it also. How do you think that ADC can be able to campaign against Tinubu when the son of their candidate is saying that his father is not good enough, that Tinubu is better than his father? While this YouTube live is coming to an end, the conversation continues. Thank you for watching this video, for being part of this live. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Please don't forget to share this widely so that people will be able to understand that there is a chance for people to be in ADC, that what has happened to the Atiku family is a sign that they shouldn't be entrusted with power in 2027. They shouldn't be the front of the ADC in 2027. ADC need a face that could be able to speak truth to power, a face that should be able to challenge the status quo. And you can't look further than Peter Obi. He is the person that can speak truth to power. He is the person that can tell APC what they are doing. Whether we like it or not, APC has been described as the most corrupt government in Nigeria's history. Since they took over in 2015, Nigeria has never recovered from their mismanagement of the economy and everything. Everything had gone downhill. Suffering and deaths has become synonymous with Nigeria and Nigerians. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.